Hi there, welcome back to my channel. This is the Mental Wellness channel with Wahiga. So today I wanna look into a video by Demi Lovato talking about her doing the California sober thing. So California sobriety and what that actually means. Being California sober, as I understand it to be, is smoking weed and actually having drinks here and there, even though that you're an alcoholic or an addict. So getting away with drinking or getting away with smoking weed here and there, even though you yourself know that you are an alcoholic or an addict. And basically trying to defy the odds. I think it's an interesting way, and let's see what she has to say about this.
Demi Lovato opens up about life after her near-fatal overdose and why she's not completely sober.
I think the term that I best identify with is California sober.
So what does that mean? The 28-year-old says she still drinks and smokes marijuana in moderation.
I feel the complete abstinent method isn't like a one-size-fits-all solution for everybody.
In spite of Demi's disclaimer, addiction expert Ken Seeley says her parameters are highly dangerous.
To tell people that they could be sober and use in moderation is almost criminal, because I guarantee you, if that takes off, people will die thinking that they're California sober.
Lovato OD'd on heroin in 2018 and reveals to CBS Sunday Morning how close she came to dying.
The doctors told me that I had 5 to 10 minutes, and before, like, if no one had found me, then I wouldn't be here. Physically, I woke up in the hospital and I was legally blind. So I literally couldn't see. The OD strokes caused brain damage.
The singer's YouTube docuseries Dancing with the Devil debuts tomorrow. It's a deep dive into her addictions and past eating disorder. But she says today she's finally got control of her life back.
Every time I was in a hotel room, my phone was taken out of the room so I couldn't order room service. I'm now in control of my finances. I'm now in control of the food that I eat, how often I work out.
I think it's a really slippery slope for her, and I only pray that something bad doesn't happen. I'm praying that she gives back the control to somebody that could really help her.
It's a term that a lot of people use to identify this path of moderation with the help of some green plants.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
I do.
And so green is the key word.
Mm-hmm.
And that's...
Wow, so she said quite a lot. She said quite a lot about her recovery. And I actually was a big fan of Demi Lovato. I got sober in 2017. And when I got sober, I came across her documentary, Simply Complicated. I watched that documentary and I was a few months sober when I watched that documentary. I actually put my comments down below, and I think I mentioned something about how inspirational she was. I think she was like 6 years sober at that time, and that was before she relapsed. And then she relapsed, and we all know how rough that was for her. And then she nearly lost her life, I think in 2019, where she overdosed really badly on some heavy drugs that I can't say here on YouTube, but she overdosed on some heavy duty drugs. It was really bad. A lot of people didn't think that she would pull through, but she did pull through. I mean, Demi Lovato is like amazing. The woman has like 9 lives. She's honestly like a cat, you know? She just keeps coming back better and better. And unfortunately, when she got back into treatment, or however her medical team did this this time around, she decided to do the California sober thing. I think that she's not being honest with herself. I think that this is definitely deep denial. I have watched so many of her interviews talking about this California sobriety thing. I actually had sent her videos to a lot of people that I knew in recovery, and it's only the part about California Sober that I didn't watch. So I had, unbeknownst to me, sent that to people. And unfortunately, I sent that video to people that were new in recovery. They got that information. And obviously, it's not the information that I'm trying to spread. That you can come into a 12-step program and think that you can still drink, or think that you can still smoke bud or pot. You can't. It's a program of abstinence. What I think is that Demi isn't really being honest. And the thing about addiction and the thing about this disease of addiction is that there's so many layers to it. There's so many different layers to it. There's denial. We lie to ourselves and we don't even know we're lying to ourselves. And that's what the acronym for denial is. Don't even notice that I am lying. We lie to ourselves, we lie to people around us. The denial runs so deep. We convince ourselves that we're okay. We convince ourselves that weed is not addictive. I know many people who are addicted to marijuana. And if you are not an addict, why would you need to moderate your drinking? Why would you need to moderate your usage of marijuana? Like, for me, it makes no sense. It's either we live with the substances, and since we become alcoholics and addicts, we have relinquished that right. We surrender that right. And I think that is where Demi has it all wrong. I think she still has the belief that somewhere deep inside, she can still control her drinking. She can still control her smoking. She still has a grip on this. And you don't. And unfortunately, that is step one. That is step 0. And nobody can do it for you. Nobody can tell you that you are powerless over a drug or you're powerless over alcohol. Nobody can do that work for you. It's only you yourself, in your innermost being, you yourself can know that when it comes to alcohol, that thing was my master. That thing was my master. That thing had me for a very, very long time. And no one can convince me otherwise. I don't have anyone that has to tell me that I'm an alcoholic. I know that I'm an alcoholic. I know it in my bones. And I don't care if people say or if society says it's a bad thing. I don't care. I don't care if there's a stigma around it. I know what alcohol does to me. When I drink alcohol, I become a totally different person. I become a worse person. And it changes me physiologically, mentally, physically. It completely changes me. And if you have doubts that you could be an alcoholic, if you have doubts that you are an addict, if you still feel in your mind or in your heart that I can still get away with this thing, I can still do this, then that's how you have room to do silliness like California sobriety, because there's no such thing. With recovery, it's either you're in or you're out. It's just like death, life and death. It's either you're living or you're dead. It's not like you're half alive and half dead. It's the same thing when it comes to recovery. We're fighting for our lives. So it's unfortunate that this is the message that is being shared out there, because a lot of people do look up to her. I looked up to her, especially in terms of her recovery. I mean, to see a celebrity doing something like 6 years of sobriety, I mean, that was kudos. That was huge. Yeah, but to do 6 years of sobriety and then almost lose your life in such a horrific way from an OD, and then come back and to say publicly that you're done with 12-step program, you just want to do California sobriety, You don't even owe the public an explanation. Probably just say that I'm done. I'm done with recovery. I'm not sober. That's it. You don't owe anybody a whole list of explanations. But please don't mislead people. Because other addicts who are probably new in sobriety, who look up to you, a lot of kids who don't have time in sobriety can be looking up to Demi or can be looking up to these celebrities and being like, yeah, I can probably get away with doing, this California sobriety. And you can't. Sobriety is complete abstinence. It's either you're in or you're out. If you are a true addict like I am, if you are a true alcoholic like I am, it's not something that you can just pick up and stop, pick up and stop. I'm literally in 12-step program because my life depends on it. Like, I don't do this for fun. I don't do 12-step program because I'm looking for a social club to go to. And I think sometimes we tend to forget that this is not a walk in the park. This is a lifelong journey that starts with one day at a time. California sober, no. It's either I'm in a full relapse or I am fully sober. There's no in between. Those days are gone. The days when I could pick up a drink and leave it alone, the days I could smoke a joint and stop smoking, those days are gone. Unless, I don't know what she's talking about here. I fully believe that it's some deep denial. But I wish her all the best, man. She's a talented musician, just a bit lost right now. Until I see you next time, cheers, guys. Hit that notification bell so that every time I upload a video, you will be notified. Subscribe, guys. Bye.